Hey Bread Gang, I hope everyone's doing good, keeping safe, and had a great weekend. In today's video, I want to chat to you guys about Naked Brands, so ticker symbols NAKD. In particular, I want to give you guys an update on the price action, so looking where the price currently is, where I believe it's going to go to, especially seeing as my last video, my last update on NAKD, I said that basically a lot of short sellers had to cover their position. So this would have made the price action very interesting to see come Friday, basically the close of last week and the opening of this week. So I predicted that there was going to be some bullish activity, there was going to be a lot of demand within the market. But before I get into today's video, make sure you guys subscribe and of course hit that notification bell so you don't miss any further uploads. With that being said, let's get this bread. From my last video on Thursday, the short float was sitting at 9.12%. Right now it's sitting at 8.99%. So that's a change of 0.13%. And also this equates to pretty much 1 million shares, because from my last video, shares on loan was sitting at 67.57 million shares. And today is sitting at 66.57, or Friday's basically the last updated data was sitting at 66.57. So 1 million shares have been covered by short sellers, and of course that equates to a lot of demand, and we're likely to see this on the chart. I mean, this makes sense considering a lot of short sellers would have potentially been trapped and they started panicking, so they would have started covering the shorts, etc., and seen as Friday they would have believed that, look, this week is going to be bullish, so they would have started covering the position, panicking. So this is all great because it creates a lot of demand. So if I hop over to the chart of NAKD, in particular looking at the daily chart, and as you can see from my last video on Thursday, there was some bearish activity. The bears were pretty much trying to get the price below. In fact, they did close the price below that range, so the resistance of the range at 60 cents. But on Friday's session, the bulls pretty much came in full force. So there was a gap above the resistance of the range, and pretty much this led to a huge push up from the bulls from basically where it opened at 66 cents all the way up to test the resistance at 75 cents. And there was some bearish rejection pushing the price back down. So a lot of trading intraday, especially on Friday. There have been a lot of trading, a lot of potentially new short sellers trying to get in and short sellers getting out, and basically bulls getting in because they want to push this price way above 75 cents. So there was a lot of trading activity, and you can see that with the volume that was traded. Pretty much the average volume that's being traded on NAKD is roughly around 45 million shares. But on Friday's session, it was 295 million. So roughly about 300 million shares being traded. And that is insane. That's pretty much what I predicted in my last video. And I says that, look, if the price closes above the 50 MA, chances are this week was going to be bullish. So this could potentially be the start to a very good bullish trend, especially seeing as if the price breaks this 75-cent resistance, then there's definitely going to be a good bullish trend falling for the next couple of weeks, possibly leading into months that could see the price head up and test the resistance around 90 cents. So more accurately, tight resistance around 85 cents. The price is likely to do that and ultimately head up to test the all-time high resistance of $2.28. So this could take a couple of weeks or couple of months, especially seeing as the short flow is sitting at 8%, which is still fairly high, so there's more than likely that a short squeeze could happen if the price continues rising up. And if we have a look at the MACD, there's actually a golden cross it's a small golden cross that is formed nevertheless. And if you have a look at the histogram, basically the bearish momentum has been increasing over time, but more recently on the daily, the last couple of days, the bearish momentum has been decreasing. Not only been decreasing, but there's actually a golden cross getting formed. And right now it's very subtle, but pretty much the lines have converged. So we'll just need to see if they actually divert away from each other. So the signal line diverts from the MACD line to the upside, and this is a golden cross. And not only that, we'll look at the histogram to see if it goes from red or pink to green, and that would basically show that a golden cross has established. And if a golden cross gets established, then this is more than likely that the 75-cent resistance is going to get broken. Bulls are going to basically be stepping in. There's going to be a lot of buyers. So if we have a look at the weekly chart, just to look further afield to see what the price is saying for the next, potentially going to say for the next couple of weeks. And as you can see, last week closed on a nice, although there was some bearish rejection, basically wick on the candle, nevertheless, it's a nice bullish engulfing candle. In fact, this candle has engulfed one, two, bearish candles on the weekly. Now this is insane. This is a huge comeback, especially seeing as the price got to the 50 MA on the weekly chart and has retraced back up, basically recovered very well on the bullish side. As you can see, every time the price has touched the 50 MA, it's pretty much retraced back up, which means that this is 50 MA is a very good dynamic support. And you can see even the resistance of 75 cents. Not only is there a resistance on the daily chart, it's also a resistance on the weekly chart. So once this resistance is broken, then there's really no reason why this price can basically head up to test $2. So to summarize, guys, the next couple of weeks leading into the end of this year and possibly into the start of next year could be very bullish. Of course, there'll be times where there's bearish, basically retracement back and forth, but nevertheless, I believe this is potentially the start, especially if the 75-cent resistance is broken. This could potentially be the start to a very good bullish trend, a strong bullish trend, seeing the price heading back up. Eventually see, just like on this weekly, was a huge move from 44 cents all the way up to $3.40. We might see that in one of the weeks coming, or even on the monthly chart, we might see that. But guys, just remember, I'm not a financial advisor. These are just my thoughts and opinions on what the market is telling me and what I believe is going to happen based on the data that I'm getting. So make sure you guys do your background DD. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you guys subscribe and of course hit that notification bell so you don't miss any further uploads. And guys, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know this is the kind of content that you like to see, and then I'll definitely continue bringing out updates on this. And also comment below, let me know your thoughts on NAKD. Are you currently invested? Are you thinking about investing in it, or do you just like the stock, or do you just like the company? Comment below. Thanks guys, I'll see you in the next video.